Number two
Per-
today?
Parak Bet of Tzephania. Tzephania, the book of Tzephania, is where we continue today. I'm sorry, I know I said Habakkuk. My apologies. Hit kosheshu, Tzephania, vikoshu, hagoy lo nichsaf. Gather together,
I'm going to
nation
share.
without shame. This nation, and we had words like this, kosheshu, with a description sort of the way in the book of Nahum when it talked very much about the way in which the um, the Babylonians, the destroyers of the Syrian army, talked about the sort of the way they were going, like you hear the horses trampling towards the, towards the Assyrians to destroy them. Baterem ledet chok kimotz avar yom. B'terem lo yavo aleichem charon af Adonai. B'terem lo yavo aleichem yom af Adonai. Before the day when the decree is born, the day, it brushes away just like the shake. Even before God's anger overtakes you, even before then, He's telling them, "Bakshu et Adonai kol anvei haaretz asher mishpato pa'alo. Bakshu tzedek, bakshu anava ulai." Tisatru v'yom af Adonai. So what do you need to do? You have to be case. You have to search out God. Because if you do that, then maybe you will be able to escape. You will be able to hide, to find that seter on the day of God's anger, right? There's still a way, even when bad things are about to happen, to search out God and hopefully find yourself shelter under the divine wings. Ki azah azuvah, something we can think about. Tihiyeh v'Ashkelon l'shmama Ashdod batzarayim yigarshuha v'Ekron teaker. Gaza will be lost, will be deserted, and Ashkelon will be desolate, and Ashdod, its people will be sent away batzarayim in the afternoon. Yigarshuha. It's not going to be something that's going to be at night. It's going to be something that's public, and Ekron will be completely expelled, uprooted during the day. And of course, we of course think of Ashkelon and Ashdod as cities in Israel. Ashkelon and Ashdod were two, as we've said many times, two of the Plishti cities / kingdoms, city states. Other ones, Gat, we don't have mentioned here. And Ekron and Aza was actually the name of one of them, wasn't the entire territory as we know it today. Or Pasuk Hey, verse 5, Hoy Yoshvei Chevel Hayam, Goy Kiretim, Dvar Adonai Alechem, Canaan Eretz Plishtim, Vahabadatich Me'ain Yoshev. So you nations, right, who live by the coast, God is talking to you. God is talking to Canaan, to the Plishtim. I will destroy your places until there is nobody there anymore. Right? It's going to be empty. By Chevel Hayam, and the coast of the sea, Nevot Kerom Roim Vigidrot Son. The sea coast will be a place of shepherds and a place for flocks, right? What does it mean? There's going to be nobody living there, so it's going to be all just sort of empty wasteland for the sheep to graze and walk around. Vahaya Chevel Sherit Beit Yuda Lehem Yirun Bevate Ashkelon Ba'arev Yir Batsun Ki Yifkedem Adonai Lehem V'Shav Shvita. And what's going to happen with this place that used to be highly populated on the coast by the Philistines and others? It will be given to those who remain, those who survive from the house of Judah. Their sheep are going to be the ones that are going to graze there. They're the ones that are going to lie down there in the houses of Ashkelon, because God will remember them and restore their fortune. Remember, this is talked about in the previous book, Nahum. Nahum sees the fall of Assyria as the time of peace, and therefore not destruction, as opposed to Tzephania comes right after him. He sees the destruction of the Assyrians as bringing about a perhaps even more ruthless empire, that of Babylon. The Babylonians who defeat the Assyrians, I believe was the year about 612 or so before the Common Era. Of course, then we know, destroyed the Beit HaMikdash, destroyed the remnant that's left after all of the damage that Assyria had done. I don't know technically in world history which one was worse, but he does not see peace coming following destruction of Assyria. It's not going to be a time of peace the way Nachum understands it with his Nechama. He sees it as a time of more destruction. And so there will eventually be a remnant from Yehuda who survives and will be able to have their animals pasturing and running around close to the Chuf Hayam, close to the, as he calls here, Chevel Hayam, close to the coast. Shamati cherpat Moav, v'gidufei b'nei Amon asher cherfu et ami, vayagdilu al gvulam. I heard all the insults of the Moavites and the jeers. Giduf is, it can also mean like the curses, the blasphemous statements of those from Ammon who blasphemed and insulted my people and gloated over their country. We saw allusions to this back in the book of Yirmiyahu. I believe it is the king of Ammon who directs Yishmael, who was from the Davidic family, to kill Gedaliah ben Achikam, the Babylonian appointed governor of Judea following the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. Of course, we know it somewhat from the story of Tzom Gedalia, the fast day that comes right after Rosh Hashanah, which we saw at length much more about it in the book of Yirmiyahu, where a long history of Gedalia, his father Achikam, who was friends and a protector of Yirmiyahu, and how the people of Ammon and Edom, I think especially Ammon, try to get rid of him because they want to extend their boundaries. They don't want any vestige, any remnant of Yehuda. They want to be able to fall into that vacuum and take the territory that has been abandoned by the former kingdom of Yehuda. They want it for themselves. So here the mentioning of Ammon and Moab. Okay, continuing verse 9. L'chein chai ani numa Adonai tzvaot Elohei Yisrael ki Moab kisdom tiyeh ubnei Ammon kamora mi meshak charul u'michrei melach u'shmama ad olam sherit ami yivazum v'yeter goy yinchalum. So God says, I swear, right? The Tzephania says, as long as God lives, the God of hosts, right? The Tzava, the God of the army, Moab will be like Sodom, and the Ammonites will be like Gomorrah, like Amorah. There'll be weeds and salt. It's going to be desolate forever. And the remnant of my people will plunder them. The remnant of my people will possess them, right? You're trying to get their land. It's going to boomerang right back to you. And the people of Yehuda who return or remain, they will get your land, not the other way around. Zot lahem tachat geonam ki cherfu vayagdilu al am Adonai tzvaot. This is what they'll get for their haughtiness, for insulting and jeering. Nora Adonai alehem ki razat kol Elohei haaretz v'ishtachavu lo ish mikomo kol iye hagoyim. God will appear against them, causing all the gods on earth to shrivel. Gam atem kushim chalei charbihema. You too, you the kushim, will be slain by my sword. V'yet yado al tzafon v'yabed et Ashur v'yasem et Ninveh l'shmamat tziyach hamidbar. God will reach out further against the north, destroy Assyria. Will make Ninveh desolate. It will be as dry as the desert. V'ravtzu b'tocham adarim kol chayato goy gam ka'at gam kipod b'chaftoreha yalinu kol yishorer b'chalon chorev batzaf ki arza era. Right, what's going to happen is that all the animals will lie down, the beasts, right? These great former cities are going to be full of animals. They're going to be empty. They're going to be desolate. The nature is going to take back its space. Zotahir ha'aliza hayoshevet laveta chomra b'lova ani va'afzi od eichayta l'shama marbetz l'chaya kol over alay yisrok yaniya yado. This was the great city that was so secure, that said, I'm the greatest of all cities, right? This is Washington, D.C. politically. This is New York City economically. What's going to happen to these cities? It will be destroyed. It will be a place that of beasts. Everybody is going to mock her. So here we see in this book in Tzephania, and I think I'm totally confused. I'm totally half asleep. that the talk here is the destruction that's going to come to all of these nations who, like we've seen in so many of the other books that we've studied recently, so many of the nations that mocked Israel, that they're going to suffer as well. It's not just going to be Bnei Israel; it's going to suffer the hands of Babylonians, the hands of the Assyrians, but all the nations that come around, they will also suffer greatly at the hands of these other people. So I'm